Alrighty guys, as you can bring you guys another Dragon Ball Legends video. Today we're going to go ahead and be hopping in for a guide video on ToP preseason number 3. So before we get into anything, I want to go ahead and say this is going to be like, I'm basically learning new stuff as we go here. And before we even hop into the tips and tricks, this is going to be first, as always, I think the most important thing is team building. Because once you leave the start panel, you're not going to be able to change your team unless you land on one of these yellow panels, which is going to take a lot of time, and you're going to definitely feel the difference in terms of getting more points or lesser points, right? Because if you land on one of these tiles, that's points that you are definitely 100% missing out on. So let's go ahead and talk about teams. So right here, you guys can obviously see that I am running an Android's team. So this is a little bit more of a premium team. I do have 3 Zenkais on here, so this guy might not be too realistic for you guys, but this is one of the really good teams. The way I like to look at my teams, the way I basically filter this is when I go in here, I immediately click on tier 1. I click on tier 1, I filter it by sparkings, right? I don't really focus on the extremes or the heroes, because as of right now, most of the extremes and heroes in the ToP game mode are scheduled for releasement, meaning that you can use them on your teams, but they are not going to have their ToP abilities yet. So they're kind of, in a way, they are kind of useless, right? I do not recommend bringing them on your team. So you can go ahead and look at the sparkings right here, and this is kind of how I filter it. You can see all of my units, even my backup units, are in tier 1, meaning this is going to help elevate my score, right? And so that's why I have androids right here. But if you guys don't, you guys definitely should look through this tier 1 list and see what teams that you could possibly build, right? I definitely do feel like in the future, Legends Road might be a very viable option. I feel like Regen could still do kind of decent here, especially since we just got this guy right here, the Legends Road Piccolo, who does do some healing. He does have supportive capabilities, but this is why I have androids right here, right? Because immediately I saw my 3 Zenkai androids right here at the top. I was just like, this is going to be perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and even be able to boost up Zenkai 17. I'm going to be able to boost up the Imperfect Cell. And, you know, the key component to a majority of these teams is having someone that can heal you, that has those regenerative properties, so you can go ahead and keep going for as long as possible without needing to land on a heal tile. And so that's where this red Android 18 comes into place. So this is basically like one of the stars of the show, right? One of the, like, this is like the glue that holds it down. As you could go ahead and we could see her Z ability right here, or her ToP ability, is that she is able to restore health by 3% for allies in range, and plus 15% to damage inflicted for 1 turn. So this is at the end of turn. The 15% to damage inflicted is only for 1 turn, but it does not specify the healing. So I assume that the healing is every single turn, right? At the end of every single turn, you are going to be restoring health by 3%. That's really good. You're also going to be able to put debuffs on the entire enemy team, which is also really good, because, you know, even this guy right here, he's also going to be putting debuffs on the entire enemy team as well, or not on the entire enemy team, but on those 3 blocks, right? So those definitely add up. That's something to not be glanced over. This guy's also going to be able to restore his own health by 10% as well. So that's very important to note, is that we do have people in here with healing capabilities. And then even down to Android 16, like, he's able to, he has a free cover change, right? It's not health gated, so that's really good. It's only on a blast attack, but you still perform a cover change and you take minus 60% to damage reduction, right? That's really good, especially if you're trying to protect someone in particular. For me, it's obviously going to be this red Android 18, because I do not want anyone to touch her. I don't want anyone to hit her, and so that's why I have him right there in that position, so he can always protect her. And then I'll always have whoever needs to be healed, I'll have them in the slot up here. That way they can go ahead and get that healing from Android 18 as well. And, you know, even down to this guy right here, this guy is really good, because look at his ability. We're just making sure we're, like, avoiding all damage at any cost. This guy's able to go ahead and activate his special action, which is his green card, which is the bubble shield, right? And so before receiving a strike or a blast card, he's going to be able to do that. And after that happens, after he gets attacked, he gets a 20% damage boost, and he gets 10% to his special move gauge charge rate. So that's actually really good. And then even at the start of the second turn, he's going to be getting a damage cut as well. So that's the first team that I'm going to go ahead and note. These guys are all in tier 1. The reason why I do not have the reason why I do not have Android 21 Blue, the free-to-play Zenkai, on here is because she is unfortunately tier 2, so she would hold back the team just a little bit, right? And so the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is LOE. Almost all of LOE is in tier 1, and we can go ahead and look at it right here. So I filter it by tier 1. LOE, look at all of them. All of them are right here, just chilling here, just sitting here menacingly. One of the MVPs I wanted to note about LOE is that you do have a ton of supportive capabilities, even down to this guy who's not really support units, but he does have a really cool action. So before receiving a Blast Arts card, you're going to be able to activate your special action, which is your green card. And after activating that special action, you get a plus 100% to your special move gauge. So if an enemy hits this character with the blast card, you're guaranteed to go ahead and get a blue card off, right? So that's actually really, really good. And then even down when he's like in critical mode, after his health is 50% or below, you're going to be able to restore your health by 10%. That's going to activate once. That's really, really good as well. You're going to have heavy bleed on your special move, which is almost guaranteed as long as they hit you with the blast arts, right? There's a lot of good stuff that he does. There's a lot of supportive capabilities on here. Keep in mind though, this team is also a team that's filled with Zenkais. You do have 3 Zenkais on here, and I do believe that getting all the way, especially if you're in the A League or higher, you're definitely going to want as much Zenkai help as possible. But you do have this cooler right here who has a ton of supportive capabilities for ToP as well. I haven't gone too much into the kits, but I do know that, look at like this guy for example right here, he gives 15% to damage inflicted in this range right here. And so on his second block, on his third block, and on his own block. And then we can go ahead and look at even LF Frieza. He has a cover change that fills up the whole board, which is actually pretty insane to me. And so we can see it right here, literally the whole board. Your health, granted, this is health gated though. Unlike 16, this guy, he does require you to be in 30% health or lower to go ahead and activate this. But you know, other than that, he still has amazing support right here as well. He's going to be able to go ahead and get 20% to damage inflicted by allies in range for 1 turn 2. And so you're definitely going to see the damage rack up right here. You're going to be able to have this guy who has healing properties. That both of the metal coolers have healing properties. Obviously this one's going to be able to have a Zenkai, so he's going to be even better if you do have him Zenkai'd. This guy also does have a Zenkai, so he's going to be able to do a lot of help as well. I've seen a lot of people run this guy as well. I'm not exactly too sure what he does here, except for just he's like a damage dealer, right? He goes ahead and he goes off on Saiyans, and he's able to go ahead and just do a ton of damage overall. The last team that I wanted to go ahead and take a look at is Sagas from the movies. So Sagas from the movies is also extremely stacked, or not necessarily stacked, but they have a lot of good options for you to go ahead and use here. All of these units that I'm scrolling, I have it filtered by tier 1 units for Sagas from the movies. And so you got a ton of options right here, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at, see what some of them can do. Alright, so the first one that I wanted to go ahead and take a look at on the Sagas from the movies is this guy right here. So he has a really good Z ability overall, right? 28% to tag Saiyans from the, or Sagas from the movies, and Hybrid Saiyan, base strike, and blast defense. So double defense is always really good. That's always something that you definitely love to see. And look at his supportive capabilities. So everyone in that range right there, you're going to get a 20% to damage inflicted for 1 turn. He also has damage reduction, so he's going to be able to tank a little bit. He's going to be able to nullify your attribute downgrades, all that good stuff. You also have this yellow Turles, who's able to go ahead and also has some type of supportive capabilities, even in a greater range. So all 3 blocks ahead of you and your own block as well, you're going to be able to get 25% to damage inflicted for 2 turns. So that's pretty good as well. You're definitely going to see that add up together. I'm seeing a lot of people run this guy as well, and you know, for good reason as well too, right? He has healing capabilities. So after receiving an attack, he restores health by 5%. That activates twice. So you're definitely going to see this guy tank some damage as well. So 25% to damage received, or minus 25% to damage received for 1 time or 1 turn as well too. And you know, you're going to be able to go ahead and transform, get more damage inflicted buffs, all that good stuff. The only thing I wish he did have a guaranteed blue card, but that is okay, because guess who does have a guaranteed blue card is this Bojack right here. So we were just talking about the full power Frieza, how he has a blue card if he gets hit by a blast card, and he's able to activate the green card, right? So we can go ahead and take a look at this guy right here. And so at the start of the 2nd turn, you're able to activate your special action, and you're going to be able to get 100% to your own special move gauge. And so that inflicts an enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage received, on top of actually getting the blue card off. That's going to be actually massive, right? You're definitely going to be able to snipe whatever. If there's a green on the enemy team, you probably are likely going to be able to either just outright one-shot them or do a ton of damage to them, to the point where where they're basically already out of the picture, right? So those are some really good units right there. I know a lot of people are still running the Metal Cooler on there as well. You guys can run the Zenkai Metal Cooler. You guys can run the Janemba. You guys can run whoever you guys think is going to be able to have a lot of a self-sustain, especially like someone like this guy as well, right? Because this guy also heals up when, so after receiving an attack, again, restores health by 7%, activates twice, 20% to damage inflicted, and minus 20% to damage received. So it's these kind of units that have a lot of self-sustain that you definitely want to include on your team, right? So that being said, we're back on the ToP board, and the reason for that you want that self-sustain is because you want to avoid as many health blocks, as many health tiles as possible, right? Because like I said before, any tile you land on, whether it be yellow or green, that's lost points, period. Like, even if you need to go there, even if you absolutely have to, you have to understand that it's going to result in some lost points. The last ToP season, I did not land on a single healing tile, a single yellow tile, and that really helped me in terms of getting the top 6k, so I can get the 1000 CC, right? So I plan on doing that again, and so you can kind of see the path that I laid out right here is that I'm trying to take the most difficult path possible, because I know the most difficult path possible is going to yield me in the most points. So that's why right here I started off with the 4-fist stage. Again, if you guys are not in the A League, you will not be seeing these stages. If you guys are in the B League, you guys will not be seeing the, so if you guys are in the A League, you will be seeing the 4-fist. If you guys are in the B League, you guys will only be seeing up to 3-fists. If you guys are in C League, you will only be seeing up to the 2-fists. So this is the path that I have right here is 4-fist, 3-fist, 3-fist. I'm probably going to go to the 4-fist, 3-fist, 4-fist, 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 3-fist, 4-fist, and so forth. That way I can go ahead and maximize my points, right? You guys definitely get the picture here. And so another thing is if you guys absolutely don't want to look into kits, you guys absolutely just want to go ahead and get the most easiest result possible, I would say just wait a day after release, and then go ahead and just check the leaderboard and see what the top dogs are running. And so you can see right here, as soon as this loads up, you're going to see a massive influx of androids. So you have a ton of androids right here, but don't let that discourage you. Don't let that make you think that I can only run androids here or I'm basically screwed, right? You definitely just keep scrolling down until you can see someone that has a little bit of a more optimal, or a little bit of a team that you can work with right here, right? So look at this guy. So he has Lineage of Evil. He is running that full power Frieza that, like I said, I think he is really good. I think he's like one of the stars of the show. He has that Zenkai Metal Cooler, and he has the Zenkai Final Form Cooler. He does not have the Zenkai Final Form Frieza, so that's something maybe you guys were thinking, like, maybe I can't run Lineage of Evil because I did not bother to get that guy Zenkai. Well, look at this guy. This guy's doing just fine, and he's running Lineage of Evil as well without that Frieza, right? And so you can go ahead and keep scrolling down. I know eventually somewhere in here we're going to find the Sagas from the movies, because those are the only teams that I really saw, but I'm sure a lot of people are having success with others as well. So like this guy right here, he's running a weird team. I'm not even gonna lie, this guy's running a little bit of a weird team. So even like these, like I would have to go ahead and look into these kits. I know this Goten is very good. I know this Super Saiyan, or this Angel Vegeta is very good. I know this Purple Vegeta is really good. I know this Android 18 is really good. So maybe even something like this, he definitely knows what's going on here, right? Like he knows he's probably getting a lot of healing across everyone, because this Android 18 and this Vegeta are both healing each other. So he definitely does have a little bit of a system going on right here with that, right? This guy's definitely something that he invested some time into looking into these kits. You guys can definitely go ahead and copy his team as well. That's definitely like there's no one's going to punish you for copying kits and stuff like that, right? And so this guy right here, he's also running kind of like a weird team as well. Like look at this, but you do see those healers, right? This Angel Vegeta is a healer. If you want to go ahead and try to make a team based around Angel Vegeta, be my guest. That's more than fine with me. Like no one's going to judge you for that. It's just stuff like that, right? You can definitely go ahead and go through and look at what teams are going to benefit you the most. So even right here, this is what I'm talking about. This is a Sagas from the movies team right here, and you can see they have both the transforming Gohan right here, the Team Gohan, the Bojack Metal Cooler. You have the Purple Vegeta. He has no Zenkais on his team. That's important to note. So I feel like Sagas from the movies might be the best free-to-play friendly team. Who knows? I have not seen a single person with Legends Road up here. I know Legends Road just got all their ToP abilities, but I have not seen a single Legends Road person up here. You can go ahead and look at my rank from using androids. Androids. It's not like the greatest, but it is pretty good, right? 198, I'm gonna 100% take that, and that's definitely due to the fact that I am running Androids. You can see right here, everyone and their mamas is running Androids, and so that brings me to basically like the last point of the video. So once you do have your team crafted, make sure you guys are paying attention to the panels, like the layout bonus and stuff right here. You can look right here, you get a lot of stuff. So you can see right here on the bottom of the screen, you have upgrade special move tiles, you have sustained damage cut tiles, which are my favorites. Those are really going to ease the blow of a lot of these matches, and you also have special move gauge up tiles as well, which is very good, especially if you're trying to build up your blue cards and trying to get into your ultimate abilities and stuff like that, right? So you definitely want to lay out your teams according to whatever bonus fits you the best. Whatever you don't always have to get every single bonus. You're not going to get punished for not getting every single bonus. Just make it so your team is the most optimal that it possibly can be. Make sure you guys are choosing your attack order, right? You can go ahead and click on these guys, so you can go ahead and choose your attack order like so. But when I click on this, you can see that I'm choosing who to attack first. Obviously for me, my strategy is basically I'm going to take out the blues first, and then I'm going to take out everybody else, because of the fact that I do have red Android 18 who is healing up my team. She's basically my support card. I do not want her to take any damage at all, so that's why I do have a lot of greens on my team. That's why I do target the blues first. So that being said, that's pretty much going to go ahead and wrap up the video. If there was any teams in here that I did not mention that you are using with great success, definitely let me know in the comments down below. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here. If you guys enjoy the content, definitely let me know by leaving a like, or maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!